Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, we're back again. Um, if I mess up tonight, okay, I've got a good excuse because I just got my first jab. Yeah, don't touch just in case. It's not a bit sore yet. It's okay. It's great. I really don't want any of those messy symptoms, but if that's what it takes to be safe, that's what it takes. Okay, it seems you're kind of liking these stories. There's like 520 something in our last one,
Yeah.
Arnold. Isn't that
There's somebody
crazy?
watching it like hundreds of times.
It's the only excuse we can come up with, any reason. But we were really tickled by one of our neighbours, Julie Naylor. There she is, named on YouTube as well as Facebook today. Julie, such a lovely, lovely person. She's always out encouraging people and believing the best in people. Just such a lovely person. And her partner, Pete, as well. He's a lovely guy as well. And they're even nicer now because they've been so good to us, so nice to us. Well, her word was that we're obsessed. My version is, and I think they need help, those two,
Yeah.
if they're
But she is a
obsessed with these.
counselor, so she can help herself. Counsel herself.
Counselor self and counselor partner, Pete, as well. So, well, here we are. The last time we ended the decision time one.
Mhm.
That was pretty spectacular, wasn't it? It certainly changed our lives. So now we were both agreed and united in who would take charge of our lives, who would help us in decision making, who would guide us along the way.
Yeah.
And phew, big relief that I got my man back. So my man has written a poem. Now, I know that's not much of a shock, but he has written a poem to uh, encapsulate, is that the word, Arnold?
That's a good word.
Encapsulate our story.
I don't know how to spell it, but it's a good word.
I'm sure you do. So I might just interrupt a wee little bit, interject
Yeah.
a little bit to fill in some details,
Yeah.
as you know.
Pamela's the detailed one, so watch out.
Just have a wee doze during those times and then you're waking up again for Arnold's. I'll shout wakey wakey when Arnold's about. Okay, will that help? Okay, wakey wakey.
That Sunday was a watershed for Pam and me. We both felt everything would work out, though we didn't know what the future would hold. That God was with us, we hadn't a doubt. By the 4th of July, Independence Day, I knew Pamela was God's choice for me. And there in the car park at the R.V.H, I asked her to marry me.
Woo!
Her
Sorry.
answer was yes.
Hey!
So we started to plan what we thought life together would be, when to marry, where to live, and children. Big decisions on which we hoped to agree. And asked permission his daughter to wed. It was a daunting task for me to face, but his yes dispelled any dread.
Daunting for you, Arnold. It was daunting for me. I knew Dad.
Mm,
Dad chose to use an
Authoritarian.
authoritarian. That's the word. I can't even say it now.
Can't spell it, but that's what
Yeah,
the word.
you can. Authoritarian form of discipline. But you know, the great thing about that was that you knew where you stood. He didn't beat about the bush. He
No.
just said it straight. So his reaction
That's
that
why it was
day,
daunting.
his reaction to you that day, Arnold, was um yes, but you can't get married until she's done her final. She needs a career behind her.
Mm.
You know the way.
Well, protective of his daughter, wasn't he?
Always.
Which any good dad would do.
That's right. And you're very protective of your two
Yeah.
daughters as well. A feeder and protective. Had to get that one in, Arnold. So anyway, Dad, yeah, but I had to finish my career first because that was in the January. That was like a year and a few months before I was due to do my finals. So okay, that was that then, and that was that phone call. Then, as we started to plan to get married, a house came up in the June that suited us perfectly. A little tiny house, 2 bedrooms, and a small bathroom, kitchen and living room, no hall, but it was perfect and it was very handy for us, for church and for Arna's work. Anyway, so we started then decorating, ready to move in after the wedding, and busy shopping and stuff and getting things ready for the house, getting things, finding bargains. Everything seemed to cost £25 in those days. Our fridge was £25. Yeah, our table and benches was £25. Washing machine was £25.
Second-hand.
Anyway, we did all right, didn't we?
Yeah.
So that was great. So that meant another phone call to Dad, because we were bringing the wedding forward to the October. Now, he got his first phone call in January, and then we had to phone him again in June when we were deciding about this house, or decided, say, we'd like to get married in October. So Arnold, his reaction that time, you need to finish your career. No getting pregnant before your finals. Oh dear, no intention to. Like, I needed to get my finals. I wanted to get my finals. I'd gone through so much, I was going to finish it, even though it was 7 months away before finals. So I'll fill this bit in, try and do it quickly. So basically, during the house, busy, preparing for the wedding in October. I don't think there's too many would put up with that these days, but we had a ball, didn't we? It was rush. I was still working full time in nursing those days. You did a 6-week study block each year. And my 3rd year block was coming up. Study block was coming up in the September. So that was quite handy, because study block, you knew where you were Monday to Friday, weekends off. And I might have just missed some lectures to go shopping into town. Of course, I had to prepare for the wedding.
Yeah, it was a good cause.
It certainly was. But, like a lot of other things in life, it was kind of last minute. In those days, the shops closed on a Wednesday, and the wedding was on a Thursday, the 10th of October, my 21st birthday. So that was one reason why we went for that date. Yay! Anyway, got happy birthday sung to us at the wedding reception. So that was a nice little extra. Anyway, so the wedding was on the Thursday, shops closed on the Wednesday. By Tuesday, I still hadn't got my full going away outfit. All I'd got was a green velvet jacket, because they were just coming into fashion then. And I loved this green velvet jacket. And but I needed to get something for underneath it, and shoes and bag. And I still hadn't got bridal shoes either. So kind of the story of my life. Anyway, by 5:20, I had got everything. Shops closed at 5:30, except for the camel colored shoes that I wanted to go with the outfit that I put under the velvet green jacket, emerald green. It was lovely.
I remember it well.
So I'd got my outfit. I needed the camel colored shoes to match my skirt and top, and bag, of course, and also needed my bridal shoes. 10 minutes, seriously, to get all these. No online shopping in those days. If there was, I didn't know anything about it, but I don't think so.
There was no internet, so there couldn't have been.
Was there no internet in those days?
I don't think so.
Oh, who knows?
70s? No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know these things, Arnold. You're the historian amongst us.
Yeah, but you're the techie.
Oh, as long as it works now, I'm happy. Don't know when it started. Anyway, as I was saying, 10 minutes. Rushed down Ann Street, Saxon shoe shop, as those who are in Belfast might remember from those days. Saw the shoes and bag, the right color, perfect. Just nearly closing time, and I would have to run somewhere else to get bridal shoes. But on my way out, I saw a sale rack, white shoes, low heel, which was fine, because there's not a lot of difference in our height, and I didn't really want to be taller in that day. And £1, bargain, had them, got them. So that was all sorted by 5:30. The last minutes of shopping. If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done. So, wakey, everybody.
We excitedly chose a ring the next day. That was after phoning Pamela's dad.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Beautiful, isn't it? Thank you.
It was January the 31st, 1974. And by October that year, we were ready to walk through our first home's front door. It's October the 10th, the headline proclaimed, though it wasn't news of our wedding day. But to Pamela and I, our families and friends, it became a wonderful election day.
Do you remember that election, folks? Harold Wilson, wasn't it, Arnold?
Yeah, it was.
The only bit of politics I know because it related to us, really. Harold Wilson was elected that day.
Our first little house, a 2 up, 2 down, was just a stone's throw from our local church. And with 1 car between us, which Pam needed most, it was a blessing I could walk to work.
Walk to work. I wasn't going to be able to walk to work because I was still working the shifts, the full-time shifts, and it wasn't safe, as we've mentioned before, for me to be out walking at all hours of the day and night. So I did need the car to get up and down to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And so Arnold walked to work, which was really handy. He was working in the centre of Belfast.
If it was too wet, I got a bus, to be fair.
Oh, did you now? Did you use our little money for a bus fare? Could you not have bought waterproofs?
My dad was a bus driver, by the way.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
So anytime he was on, which wasn't really very often, maybe I would have got a free ride, but not very often.
Don't say that in case they come looking for their money. So just linked to walking to work is a little story about our first pets.
Can I go and make a cup of tea?
No, you stay there and just listen once again to this, Arnold. You've heard it again many times because I have a good laugh at it. So does it. We had a tropical fish tank with lots of tropical fish. Emphasize the word tropical. So we had this lovely tank all fitted out in an alcove that we had just on top of a cupboard thing. Anyway, and we had different types of fish. And one morning I came down, and the black Oscar fish, for anybody who knows anything about these fish, had half of a little baby guppy fish hanging out of its mouth. I was raging. We've got to get rid of that fish. It's not going to do that to our babies.
The thing was, there were very few left. There was a big fat Oscar and very little left. It was like a shark, actually. It looked a bit like a shark, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, kind of, yeah, the shape of it, maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen many sharks in real life, so I don't really know. Thankfully not. So we decided, right, we're getting rid of Oscar. So Arnold, there was a market in called Smithfield in Belfast at the time, with a pet shop that you could take pets into and get some money for. So we thought, a tropical fish, Oscar. We'll sell Oscar to this guy, get a few pennies for it, and he can sell it on. So I'll take joint responsibility because I think it was Arnold, really. We put some water into a plastic bag and put Oscar, the tropical fish, into this, and Arnold carried it on his walk to work.
On a winter morning.
It was rather icy that morning, Arnold, as I remember. Took it round Smithfield, and there was nobody who would take the fish. But what Arnold didn't know, as he
arrived at work,
but you were trying to sell Oscar to the Smithfield market, and poor Oscar had gone to fish heaven in the cold. So Arnold had to dispose of Oscar down the loo. Bye, Oscar. Lovely knowing you. Not. Anyway, he deserved that, didn't he?
Wow. It was a bit sad.
Oh, it was. But it's given us a good laugh since. So we were more careful by the next pet we got, because when I passed nursing finals in the next May, 75, I did really well, actually, which was amazing in our mocks, because I had exams just before the wedding as well of the third year study block. That was like our mock finals, but weird.
She is a whiz kid, really.
You just go on believing that, Arnold, till your bubble bursts.
Wonder Woman.
You'll be singing next on YouTube.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, let's keep moving. We're going to be even longer this time. Where was I now? Finals. Arnold gave me the choice of what I would like as a present for passing my finals. So my choice was to get a dog. Now, Arnold hadn't had a dog in his childhood. We always had pets at my home, and a dog we had, and I absolutely loved the dogs that we had, all the pets that we had, the cats as well. Anyway, so we bought, and he was £25 as well.
Was he?
He was.
He'd probably be £1,000 today.
Oh, I'm sure.
A dachshund.
Why didn't he live a bit longer? We could have got more money for him.
He was quite long.
He was a dachshund. For those in Northern Ireland, Denny's sausages, I think they're still in existence. That's why we called him Denny, because he was a sausage dog, a long-haired sausage dog, black and tan. He was lovely. He was a great guard dog. And the night that we really needed him to be a guard dog, we actually had him out with us in the car, which wasn't the wisest thing, considering we had already had the house broken into before we even moved in, before the wedding. And the police, it was the neighbours, I think, noticed something funny about the house, and the police rapped the door. And am I allowed to tell this wee bit, Arnold? Well, the policemen told us, and they're nice people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy, one of them that had broken into our house, and they were doing weights and everything in one of the rooms that hadn't been decorated yet, broke into he was helping himself to a bath in our bathroom. So he heard the police at the door, and he scarpered, if that's not an Irish word, he jumped out the bathroom window, naughty, no clothes, completely naked, and the police had to chase him. They got him anyway. But we shouldn't have had Denny with us this time, because again we got broken into while we were out. But the only reason how we knew was as soon as we got out of the car, we were letting Denny out in the back garden to do what he had to do. And he charged down to the back wall, big 6-foot wall. And he was barking and barking. I ran down to see what he was barking at. And it was a guy that had just got over the wall, and he was hiding behind the wall. And I grabbed the collar of him to catch him, and realized the bangle. The
That lovely bangle that I bought her.
You did. one Valentine's Day, I know. And I bashed on the wall. I let go of the guy. So he got away. But the police caught him with him later.
It turned out he was actually a neighbour.
I know. He used to walk past the window, and we were sitting in the sitting room. We knew who they were.
It was a nice area, really.
Okay. Is that all that I was supposed to say about that?
I think so.
Let me just put my glasses on to check. Was I even supposed to talk there? I don't know, Arnold. Yes, that's all. That's all I was supposed to say. Okay. Wakey, everybody, he's back.
So we committed to serve God the best way we could after we got married, as church caretakers and teaching Sunday school. Youth leadership followed. It was our training ground, making life together exciting and full. In August 76, a baby girl was born. Her life was contested from the very start. Sharon's faith in God in good times and bad has made her strong in spirit and heart. Mm-hmm. Julie arrived in God's 79. A peaceful beginning just served to hide an inquisitive and mischievous nature.
Yes, Julie.
Qualities that have helped her to thrive. And if you want to find out a little bit more about Sharon and Julie, I have written a poem, My Beautiful Daughters, which I think I wrote last August. So it's on YouTube if you want to have a look at that one. It will tell you a bit more about them. We love them very much. We're very proud of them both.
Yeah.
Over to you.
You getting a wee bit emotional talking about your daughters again?
The girls asked the Lord Jesus into their lives. Both made the decision when they were still very young. Though they've faced many challenges along the way, with his help, they have both overcome. Mm. Pam worked some nights, but her mum and dad helped. The girls loved Nan and Granddad so much. Mm-hmm. With Pam's skill as a mum developing fast, they were blessed with that grandparent's touch.
Definitely.
The end of the 70s proved pivotal years. Along with Julie, a fresh vision was born. Though our lives were already busy with work and church, we felt it right to take something else on.
We'd actually moved house by this stage up to a semi-detached,
Ooh.
don't you know, moving up in the world. And it was about, I think it's 8 miles outside of Belfast. So Arnold needed the car for work
Glengormley.
then. Yeah, up in the mountains. It was rather cold in Glengormley. Anyway, we had moved there, and when Julie was kind of very young baby, of course I was off work, maternity then. Oh, there's Huckles. And that's the wind blowing down our chimney, by the way. That's our lovely Labradoodle, Huckles, joining in. Why not Huckles? So, oh, maybe better let him out, maybe.
Okay, we're live, Huckles.
So was he, and he's proven it. So, of course, I was able to sit with the baby and looking out the big bay window. It was one of those full-length pane windows. Anyway, don't go into those details, Pamela. But I noticed that children were running around a lot out in the street, and I must have had time off Sunday school when I realised, well, they're not going to Sunday school. How are they ever going to learn about God? And I believe that God was actually doing something in me for children who didn't go to church, who didn't have any influence about God in their lives. And I thought, well, what can I do? We can't take them to Sunday school. We couldn't get them all in the car anyway, and it would be Arnold just going on his own, and that we couldn't do that. So I heard about this organization, CEF, who actually, this is what this charity did, was train teachers to hold a good news club in their home, in their own home, the teacher's home. And they did teacher training classes every week. So I thought, oh, I wonder if that's something I should get involved in. So I inquired about it. And then I had a visit from the two Jennifers, who were notorious in Southeast Antrim area. CEF, a great organisation that these good news clubs were run by, and they trained teachers to do that, just ordinary housewives like myself with no previous teaching experience. So they did that. So they called round to the house and interviewed me. I was 6 months pregnant at the time with Julie. I just remember that little detail. I just remember sitting there being interviewed by these two people. And anyway, so it must have been at home, but I don't remember those details anyway. They interviewed me to see if I would be suitable. So, yeah, was I? What do you think? Arnold, wiki again, everybody. Do you want to read through the whole poem from the beginning, just without me interrupting this time? And then you'll hear at the end what happened. Okay, because he's got an extra 2 verses that he's keeping secret at the minute. Is that okay?
Bear with me. So that Sunday was a watershed for Pam and me. We both felt everything would work out, though we didn't know what the future would hold, that God was with us, we hadn't a doubt. By the 4th of July, Independence Day, I knew Pamela was God's choice for me. And there in the car park at the R.V.H, that's the Royal Victoria Hospital, I asked her to marry me. Her answer was yes, so we started to plan what we thought life together would be, when to marry, where to live, and children, big decisions on which we hope to agree. I phoned Pam's father in England and asked permission his daughter to wed. It was a daunting task for me to face, but his yes dispelled any dread.
Am I allowed to just interject here, Arnold?
Yeah,
Sorry, I said I wouldn't. But I just want to say about my dad, he may have been authoritarian, but you see down in the middle, he was like a big marshmallow. And I was able to touch that quite often, being the youngest. So I just needed to say that for my elder sister's benefit and my 2 older brothers' benefit. I touched the mallow, the soft gooey centre.
We excitedly chose a ring the next day. It was January 31st, 1974. And by October that year, we were ready to walk through our first home's front door. It's October 10, the headline proclaimed, though not news of our wedding day. To Pamela and I, our families and friends, it became a wonderful election day. Our first little house, a two up, two down, which actually cost
Oh, that's
£3,200,
right.
would you believe? You wouldn't get a garage for that. Was just a stone's throw from our local church. With one car between us, which Pam needed more, it was a blessing. I could walk to work. We committed to serve God the best way we could as church caretakers and teaching Sunday school. Youth leadership followed, and it was our training ground, making life together exciting and full. In August 76, a baby girl was born, her life contested from the very start. Sharon's faith in God in good times and bad has made her strong in spirit and heart. Julie arrived in God's time in February 79. A peaceful beginning just served to hide an inquisitive and mischievous nature, qualities that have helped her to thrive. The girls asked the Lord Jesus into their lives. Both made that decision when still very young. Though they've faced many challenges along the way, with his help, they have both overcome. Pam worked some nights, but her mum and dad helped. The girls loved Nan and Granddad so much. With Pam's skills as a mum developing fast, they were blessed with that grandparents' touch. The end of the 70s proved pivotal years. Along with Julie, a fresh vision was born. Though our lives were busy with work and church, we felt it right to take something else on. A CEF worker called Jennifer, still a good friend, asked Pam to start a good news club in her home so that children who did not go to church could be visited and invited to come. That yes to Jennifer was to change our lives. A new adventure for us had begun. We didn't know where it would lead us, but we knew children's lives would be one.
And where would it lead us? You need to tune into the next time to find out. So
Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for watching, folks. And it's bye for now from us. Have a
Bye-bye.
great week, everybody, whatever you're doing. Lovely chilled weekend. Hope so. Bye-bye. Is that what I was supposed to?